Hi, welcome to Craft Little Things. I'm Andrea and I thought it was about time I sewed together my hexagons. If you're not, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Big and Little Crochet is a part work by a company called Hexagons, and every month you get two crochet books with themed makes in them, and you get ideas on, you sort of get masterclasses on stitches and techniques, and you get a pattern for a hexagon. You get a pattern for a hexagon in each one, except the last one you got a half hexagon, and book 14, which is up there, which is the one I actually needed. Book 14 had the instructions for joining, for edging off and joining together all your hexagons. And I'm thinking we're on to book 25. The next two books to come for me should be 26 and 27. So I'm thinking maybe we're going to join the next 13 very soon, or we're going to join some more very soon. So I thought I'd best get around to joining my first lot. Let me just get the right book. I should know it's this one because yeah, so in the back of this one it shows you how to edge and join. Now edging is really simple, and I wish, to be honest, I wish that it suggested you edge as you go along. I wish it just added the white edge onto each hexagon, because I didn't enjoy just sitting and doing all my white edges, but you know, it has to be done. So yeah, in future I will just add a row of white at the end of every hexagon as I'm doing them. Now the edging is pretty simple. It's just oh, great one to show you on. It's just a row of white double crochets, which are single crochets in the US. You do one in every stitch across each side of your hexagon, and then in the corners you just do one double crochet, chain two, and a double crochet in each corner space. Now the problem was that some of the hexagons had more stitches in them than others. So some had 11 across, and then the two in the ends made it sort of 13 across. Some had less, some had more. So what I did was, to make life easy for me, I made sure that every single one had 11 stitches across. So it's got 11, it's got 2 in the ends, so obviously one of those counts on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. So we have 13 in total, 1 in each corner space and 11 across. And I just made that happen because I just thought that would be so much easier when it came to sewing them together. So when you're doing that, sometimes you have to put 2 in one, sometimes you have to skip one, just to make sure that you get all of them in. So they're all edged off, and these are the first 13. The other thing I'd like to mention is that a few people had said, and I've noticed people saying, that they didn't get enough white yarn to edge and sew things together, and that was definitely true of me. I think I'd run out, I had a little tiny bit left. In fact, I don't think I even had a tiny bit left. I think I more or less used every bit of white yarn I'd been provided with, because you get the yarn as well with the books. And I'd used every piece of yarn I'd been provided with just to do the edging. Now, a few people have asked me what thread we use for this, and I think I've had a good look, and I think what we use is Rico Creative Aran. Well, it's Creative Cotton and Aran weight. This range has all of these colours. They're called something different, but it does have all the right colours. Some ranges I've spotted have a couple of the colours, but this range has all of these colours. They're called something different, as I said, but they are there. The same shades of pink and grey and blue. and the white, and it is a very, very, very good close mat. I still stand by it that this is what they use. So this is available quite widely. However, the cheapest supplier of this at $1.75 for 50 grams. Sorry, the balls you get with your project books are about, I think they're 50 grams. They might even be 25, but they're smaller. Now these, the Wool Factory on, is it the Wool Factory? I think it's the Wool Factory, because there's a Wool Factory and there's a Wool Warehouse. The Wool Factory, which I usually use Facebook to find, they do it for $1.75, but they were out of stock on white when I bought mine. So I got this from Love Knitting for $1.89, either $1.85 or $1.89. And this is the Rico Creative Cotton Aran 50 grams, sorry. So that's what I'm using, and it seems to be the right thing. So when you've edged all of your hexagons, what it suggests you do is you lay them down in this pattern. Now one thing you need to remember is that you're joining them together as a blanket, and they're only joining together on one side to each other, if you like. Does that make sense? So find your right sides. Your right side with crochet, I mean, is usually the side without your stragglers, but it's usually you can just sort of tell, it's usually your most pronounced side. I mean, with this one, this is the right side, but I prefer that side. So it's up to you. If you've got bobbles and things, it'll be the side where your bobbles are standing out the most. So that one. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing, and I promise I will not go out short. I'm going to put my hook in that corner space there, grab some yarn and pull it through. Now you can tie your yarn on, or you can do what I'm going to do. So I go yarn over with both my straggler and my working yarn and pull them through the loop on the hook and let that relax down there. Then I'm going to chain one. I'm going to do what the book tells me to do anyway for once. So joining them together, join white to a corner space, chain 3 and then slip stitch. Right, so I've chained 1, 2, 3, okay. And now I'll slip stitch into the opposite corner of the next hexagon. So this is the opposite corner of the next hexagon. So I'm going to go into that chain space on the corner there, put my hook in, pull through some yarn and pull it through the loop on my hook. And now I'm going to chain 3 and go back to the first hexagon, but I'm going to miss 3 stitches, okay? So this is the first stitch, second stitch, third stitch, and I'm just going to slip stitch into that 4th stitch. And now I'm going to chain 3. Sorry if I did go off the screen there. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to slip stitch into this 4th stitch. And now I'm going to chain 3, come back to my original and count 1, 2, 3 and slip stitch into this 4th stitch. And now I'm going to chain 3, and where I'm counting from is the last stitch I sewed into. Okay, so I sewed into that one, so I'm counting 1, 2, 3 and then going into the 4th one. Okay, chain 3, come back to my original, that's where I last sewed into, 1, 2, 3 into the 4th one, chain 3, here's my last stitch, 1, 2, 3 into the 4th one, chain 3, and now I'm into the corner. So I'm going to go into that corner and slip stitch, and then I'm going to chain 1, 2, 3 and go into that corner space. Make sure you are in the corner space, and slip stitch, and then I'll chain 3 and I'll go into the corner space of my next hexagon. Okay, so I'll pick up my next hexagon, pop my hook into the corner, grab some yarn, put it through and pull it through onto that one, and then chain 3. Now you'll see here we are joined like this. You get like a zigzag join. Okay, and then what we want to do is create, it says to create a triangle. So the way to create the triangle, if you see, we've got 1 chain 3 coming from the corner to the corner, 1 chain 3 going from that corner to that corner. So we do 1 chain 3 going back from this corner to this corner, and then we'll be all nicely joined up. So I'm going to go back into that corner space for chain 3. And now I'm just going to turn it slightly to make it easier for you to see, and then I'm just going to chain 3 and do exactly the same thing again. So I'm going to go from that corner space, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 and pop one in the 4th. Chain 3, go back to my blue one. This was the last place I stitched. 1, 2, 3, crochet with a slip stitch into the 4th. 1, 2, 3. This was the last one I stitched into. 1, 2, 3 into the 4th. Okay, and that's it. It's not very difficult to do. You just have to remember, don't get carried away and go around your corners, if you know what I mean. So I'll show you what I mean. Right there, 1, 2, 3 into there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 into there. 1, 2, 3. Now it'd be easy to just go into this corner and then start coming down this side, but that's not what we want to do. So that's what I meant, don't get carried away. And you know, you finished that one now, so now you're looking for your next one, okay? And that's how pretty it is joined together. You've got that triangle going on in the corner, that's what you're looking for. So where I have the 2 parts to join together, what I'm doing is I'm just popping my hook into the corner, bringing my yarn through, and you can either tie it on or you can work it on the way I have done in the past, you know, yarning over with the straggler and the working yarn. But you can bring it through, tie it on, or whatever you want to do, and then put your hook in and chain 3 and go straight into the missed 3. 1, 2, 3, so into the 4th, because otherwise you get too much confusion going on at your joining points, and this keeps your pattern nice and consistent. So don't go across corner to corner when you join in on your yarn to just fix the sides together. Keep your stragglers out of the way. Then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 into the corner, into your other corner, corresponding corner, 3, and slip stitch through and slip stitch to finish. And there you have it. Not sure what went wrong there. And there you have it. The other thing I've done, it started off as an accident, and then I thought, oh, actually, I'm going to do that on purpose. So that's all sewn on there. Is I've put some of mine on purpose back to front, because I figured then, when it's a throw, some of it will be, whichever way around you've got it, some of it's going to be the right way around. So it's just going to look good from both sides. You're just going to start here, work your way across, and when you get to the corner, just do your chain to create your triangle, okay, like I've shown you. So then that'll be it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to finish that off. I'm going to sew in all my ends, and then I'm done, and I'll be waiting for the next piece to come. So I'll show you this finished when I do the next bit, but I am going to sew all these ends in nice and tight, and make it look really nice. It's already looking gorgeous, isn't it? I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to lay it out and stretch it out, even if it's just on a table or something, and let it sort of leave it overnight, maybe give it a little spray, maybe pin it out with some little clamps onto the edge of a table, and just let it have a stretch, and a bit of a spray with some starch, just to give it a nice sort of finish. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So thanks for watching me, and I hope that was helpful, and I hope you could see what I was doing. Okay, take care, bye bye.